Going live?
And hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Generic Paranormal Show. I'm your host, Katie Stafford, and this is my co-host, Austin
I'm
Maynard.
Austin. What's up, everybody?
So tonight we are going to continue. We're going to continue with our three-part series on paranormal equipment. It's a deep dive into paranormal equipment. So that's what we're doing.
We can't do a deep dive in 3 episodes, man.
Well, it's about as deep of a dive as,
we cover like
vaguely.
3 things.
It's a vague deep dive. Let's put it that way.
You
You have to really deep dive into a thing. You need to pick a specific thing in the bigger realm of the things and then go deeper into that. This is more of a generic blanket.
Well, then shouldn't we talk about concepts?
Oh, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I know you haven't seen any of the material I have, but I'm going back to the tried and true material, the source material that I started with tonight. And you've seen all this.
Probably.
I think you might have some sort of control over this, but we're gonna get there in a minute. We're gonna start out with a funny video. Hold on 1 second here.
Funny biz.
Funny video. Oh, it's funny to anybody who might have been in the military.
Oh, well,
this is from my military peoples out there, and y'all know what it's like when you hear the reveal or the taps, the rebel taps, the reveal. Well, you don't do it for taps. You do it for the rebel. This is what it's like at the end of the day. You see the guy? You didn't see the guy, did you? Yeah. All right. So whenever they play, it's the retreat. Whenever they play the retreat, you have to stand at attention, just same as you do in the morning when they play the revelry.
No matter what you're doing.
Yeah, no matter what you're doing, you stop what you're doing. If you're in uniform, you stop what you're doing, and you stand at attention, and you face the flag on post, right?
All right.
If you're outdoors.
What if you're behind a rock taking a shit out on the post or something?
Well, you shouldn't be behind a rock taking a shit in the first place on post.
So then, okay, just side question real quick. When you are deployed and you are out there...
When you're deployed, you don't do it. We don't do it when we're deployed.
You don't shit?
Well, we don't do reveal the revelry or the...
That's not what I was talking about. Any of that. I was asking about how do you shit, I don't know.
Sure, you shit however you can. Porta potties are preferred. It's preferred. They have them
out in the Middle East like that?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, well, they're different. A lot of times in the Middle East, they like to stand on the toilet seat while they go. So there'll be feet things a lot of times on the side, and I hate that. And I'm not using those bathrooms, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. Let's see if we got any comments. Tim Lovejoy joining the live. Phantoms of your good evening, lads. Good evening to you, our Canadian friend. All right. That is hilarious. This dude is literally, they're in the middle of training. They should have thought about it. They really should have thought about it.
That's what I was wondering.
It's almost 5 o'clock. It's almost close the business. We should think we're probably gonna have to do the flag. So like, they didn't put a lot of thought into it. Right in the middle of training,
obsession.
Oh, that's for later.
Parts of those.
Let me get rid of that for now. Okay. Anyways, so what I was saying, we're going to go back to our roots of our my roots anyway, of experimentations. And we're going to look at this. Pow! We're going to do a little bit of research on EVPs and ITC.
Ooh.
I know it's kind of a broad statement, and EVP technically is a part of ITC.
It's a form of ITC, yes.
It's a form of ITC. It is in the world. The world is a subcategory or a something of ITC. So I always like to go back to the worlditc.org website. Now, don't correct me if I'm wrong. Do you not have anything? Do you not have like any access to this, or do you? Because this used to be like front page on what's the web, the metaphysical thing? No, it was
ITC Voices.
Yes, ITC Voices. Yes.
Yeah, Matthew Jackson. I handed over that to Matthew Jackson.
Is he doing anything with it?
Yeah, he's got it up and
I'm gonna check
running
into
again. It's not very complete because he had to start completely fresh.
Right.
Because so what had happened, guys, anybody watching, what had happened was when Tim had transferred, he backed up the website and like he completely compressed it, put it into a file and sent it over to me. But when he did that, he basically discontinued or like deleted the website off of the server that it was currently on, and I was just supposed to basically take the backed up file and re-upload it. Problem was the backed up file was in the old format, and so I could not re-upload any of it. It was all just like I can't do anything with it, and so kind of sucks because that was a lot of information, a lot of history in that website, man, and I'm like so disappointed about it. I felt sick to my stomach for a long time.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, at a certain point you kind of realize though, like there's only so much that you can do. I mean, and if I got a file, like I just wish that he didn't like delete it or like shut down the site instead of. I wish he would have just transferred it over to you. Right? Yeah, I wish he would have transferred
you the domain name and everything over on that same web host.
Yeah, but because it was in an old format, so like I couldn't even put it onto the new format without completely. It was grandfathered in, so it would just have been better to keep it that way. And man. But that's or something like I'm just
maybe hot link to that page from a new page
or something, man. And I just wish that could have been saved. I don't. It's just because I know how much was on that site, man. Fuck.
Right.
Anyways, all right. So what are we looking at? EVPs this time?
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to bring up a point in your side there, a thorn in your side. Apparently, you got some.
No, that's all good. Well,
okay.
It's just a touchy. Or I have some feelings on it. Yeah,
you got some feelings. Okay.
Everybody
catches feelings every once in a while.
Yeah. Anyway,
you're looking at the worlditc.org website here. This is a very useful page. I have always, whenever I get kind of stuck on something, I always go back to this, and I just go through everything, and I use it less of a resource or like a reference, but more of a inspiration. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Try to get some new idea or renovate or
maybe remember. Sometimes I think I forget why I started doing this, or what really interested me the most in all this, and then I'll go back and I'll look through this. I'm like, man, this is some damn cool shit here, man. You know.
Oh yeah.
But so I was looking into EVP recording,
Okay.
and so looking at the DR60, right? So the DR60, it came out in, what was it, in late 90s? Was it 98, 99?
98. 98.
98. Okay. Now, basically, what we've all broken it down to is that the DR60, call it what you want. Call it paranormal interactions, call it EVPs, but regardless of what you call the noises that are made on the DR60, it is 100% due to the way it's like a inefficient form of recording, and then compression, and then decompression, right? And that's kind of what it boils down to. And then like a cheap speaker and everything on top of that. The EVPs do sound a little bit different from a DR60 whenever you transfer them digital, or straight from the recorder over to like your computer, and you play it. And then I'm not recording the audio onto a microphone. I'm talking about taking it straight from the jack.
Like Audacity.
Using Audacity or whatever,
But yeah, because like I know a lot of people that will they got the 1/8 or the what is it, the 2, I can't remember.
It's a 1/8.
Well, the 1/8 isn't a 1/8 a 3.5?
Well, 3 point, is it?
Yeah.
It might be. You might be right. Yeah.
And then there's another one. It's like 2. It's a 2.5 is what the jack is.
2.5. 2.5.
It's a 2.5 jack. I don't know what
millimeter sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the whatever is, but
the Imperial version.
Yeah. But I do know that, like, yeah, you could literally just take a cable, get the adapter, connect it to your directly to your computer, and record live right from Audacity or whatever. I've never been able to do that, but granted, I didn't really try a whole lot to upload my EVPs off of the DR60 because I take them all with a grain of salt, and I also only use it for live communication. I don't use it for like EVP research.
You know what I would like to do actually with the DR60 is I would like to take just the speaker wires and disconnect them from the speaker itself and run another external jack. I know there's no room to put another jack, but you can, I don't know, maybe stick one on the outside of it or something, so you can plug a 3.5 millimeter in and take audio straight from the speaker, from the output from the speaker.
Yeah.
And then, just turn it down real low and then record that and then use that and then compare that. Problem is these goddamn recorders are so freaking expensive that nobody is going to let you take their DR60 and just start cutting wires on it and doing whatever you want. But I'm anxious to see if anybody's tried that. I don't think anybody's tried that.
I beg to differ.
It might have, but
sir.
Huh?
I beg to differ, good sir.
Well, I mean, maybe they have. I mean,
I personally have modified a DR60 by adding a second speaker on the outside to it to give it like extra volume. Basically,
I'm talking about
added the jack though.
We need the jack. Just get rid of the speaker and throw a jack on there. And you can, that way, you can record and you can do your normal thing during your investigation. And then when you get back and you're going over your shit, then you can just plug it into your computer and play it back and then download.
That defeats the purpose of the DR60, man. Like if you want to do all that, just use a damn Zoom and shit. Like if you're trying to do real EVP recordings, but like, I mean, yeah, it's got a flash memory and you can bring it back.
No, I'm just interested.
DR60 is for burst sessions, man.
No, I'm interested in how you could look at, sure, but you're gonna go back and document those burst sessions.
Yeah, that's why you got to be filming and recording on multiple devices.
But you also want to be able to have the direct audio from those recordings too.
Yeah, and that's why you would go home and connect it directly to your computer.
Exactly.
You just got to have the adapter. I have the adapter.
Well, I
forgot
wonder if
to
there's,
get it.
but I wonder if there would be a difference in the speaker output, and that's what I'm saying. Is there a
Oh, you
difference
think there's
in the
audio being
speaker
lost
output
in that
to the
jack,
computer?
that transfer? Yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I think that there might be something, but I
And
don't know because I
there
haven't
always
tried.
is, though, a little bit, right?
There's going to be something, right?
There's gonna be
But I
some
wonder
that's
if it's the
lost.
thing. I wonder if
That's
it's
why they
the
talk
thing.
about that's why they talk about like if you have the longer kind of audio cable you have too. I mean, you lose signal, you lose signal quality. So like I imagine anytime you have some kind of either a second connection, like or an external connection that needs to go in, and you're diverting power that way or whatever.
Yeah, there you
I-
go. Lovejoy says you can use a H4n Pro Zoom. That's another recorder, but you could also just plug it directly into your computer as well.
Yeah, yeah, you could do that.
But the thing is is there a difference in that audio output for that you know on the DR60, and if you were to just take the clean audio from the speaker output, not played aloud from the speaker and recorded, but take the clean output from those wires and run it directly into your, I wonder what the difference would be, and you could compare, you could look at the spectrograph for both, and you could just overlay it and see basically what losses are there, see it right away. But
I know somebody who I know that has done a lot of this research is Joshua Shawn.
Well, we need to have him on.
Might be worth talking to him about it, asking him, because I know he's done more on the DR60 than I know. Like anybody else that I know, he's done more on it. Like he actually
repairs,
audio.
But I've never actually really used the DR60 because I'm not rich enough, and I didn't buy one early enough before they got to be $1,600.
Yeah, I think when I bought mine, I spent $700 on it.
That's what year was it? Like 2015, 2016, something like that?
2017.
2017? Yeah, that sounds about right. 700.
But I've bought 4 since I've started, but I've owned 2 at a time but I sold one, and man, I tell you what, that was so devastating for me to have to sell one of them.
Oh yeah. Well, so what do you think though? Because a lot of people, when they start using a DR60, that's it, man. They don't go back. It's like everything's DR60 everywhere they go. I know Dave Schrader, that's what he does. He's got a DR60 and he uses that damn thing every single every place he goes. That's what he's using. He doesn't really have equipment. He's just got the DR60, and that's people who get DR60s. That's what they turn into. Is I'm a DR60 person.
So, I mean, I have had it since 2017, so that's what 8 years now. I use it a lot, but like I don't know. I don't actually, honestly, I don't use it a whole lot. Like I switch between. I have so many goddamn ghost boxes, and you know this too, that I can't stick with one device for any extended period of time. Really, when I'm on a hunt, I have to bring at least 3 or 4 ghost boxes if I go anywhere.
Yeah, I bring 3
right
all the time.
Yeah, right.
I have my 3, my ink box reverse, my ink box S, and my. Well, normally I don't. If I take the ink box reverse or OG ink box, I don't take a ink box S. So it needs to be one of the two: ink box, OG ink box, or nowadays it's always the reverse. I just take the reverse. And, honestly, I've still been carrying my microcom. I always have a microcom, but I use my reverse.
Mine stays in the case.
Huh?
Mine stays in the case as well as the Nanocom X.
Oh yeah,
with the echo and reverb and random linear that you built for me.
Yeah.
So I always have that in my case. I also I have a direct link. I got the DR60. I got like a little bit of. I got almost. It's like one from all of the builders, kind of. It's like I got that one from every builder.
See, that's nice of you. I don't do that. I just carry my shit.
Well, there's one.
I'm
Well,
not saying everybody doesn't have valid equipment. I'm just saying I carry my. Well, here's the thing, right? Like my ADD will eventually it'll tear me to pieces. So I can't have too much stuff. I realize that I have to just keep it minimal. So I have to like take a small count of things, and I try to keep it to one. I try to focus on one aspect of the investigation, right? Like equipment wise.
Yeah. Like you're gonna do
Because
one experiment or
there's,
something.
because there's only so much you can do, and you really want to
Got
put some
limited
time
time.
and
Yeah.
effort into the main thing that you want to do. Otherwise,
Right.
you're just getting you're not getting a lot of things,
Well, that's
or
how
you
I've
get a
always known
lot
you
of
to be. Is
huh?
like that's how I've always known you to do it. Is like you got one like whenever you go to do a hunt, you got one experiment, like one kind of I would call it a bigger thing, but you got one that's like a decent experiment, like the scorpion, right?
Yeah.
Like the laser tripwire, like it's that.
That thing is so distracting to me. I'm not taking that thing anywhere else, dude. I'm not.
You
I
spend a lot of
refuse.
time on it.
I do. I obsess over it. When I get it out, I will obsess over it. It's like a weird thing, and I won't leave it the fuck alone. And so I
Dude,
can't
that
take
thing.
it. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
take it anywhere with me anymore.
Yeah.
If I do, I have to take it somewhere where I can set it up, and I'm going to do one thing with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I can set it up way ahead of time.
And it
Uh,
just be one simple thing that
yeah,
would work. Yeah.
because it's not something that you could just set up at the drop of a hat. I remember when I set up that laser experiment at the
Malvern.
no, it was at no that was a fail. I feel like that was a fail. That was definitely a fail.
Yeah.
That was a not. We didn't have enough time to prepare before we got there, or
No.
when we got there until people started getting there.
Yeah, we were there like an hour before. It was like fuck.
Right. So, but like the when we did it at it was the Clark Chateau. That's right, in Butte, Montana. So we did I used the laser Scorpion is what they called it. Laser, it's just a laser audio transmitter. But so
It's a scorpion.
it does look like a scorpion tail. It does. You know what it looks like? It looks like there's a game called Wastelands 3, and on the cover of that game, there's a giant robotic scorpion. And it's got this robot scorpion tail, and it's got a red laser on the tail.
No.
And I saw that, and I was like, "Damn, bro, that looks like." But so yeah, I stopped using that as much, just because
Pain in the ass.
But the episode on Ghosts of Devil's Perch though in the Clark Chateau, so we used mirrors, right? And so like, dude, we had like 13 freaking mirrors, I swear to God, on one side of the room. And then on the other side of the room was just one long big mirror. It was like a gym. It had become a gym.
Oh,
They turned into a gym, so it was just
like
a
a weight
mirror.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way down the wall. And
Yeah.
so on the opposite wall, I just lined up 13 mirrors, and then I put the laser transmitter on one side, ran a audio cable to the OG ink box, and I was transmitting that, and it was bouncing. And I had the fog out right so you could see it, and it was crazy, man. It was like a laser zigzag all the way across the room, and then Dave was hearing it in the other side, and that was probably one of the best experiments I did on that show was with that.
Oh yeah.
And but that's kind of EVP, but not really.
I think
Ghostbox usage is kind of EVP.
I mean it is. It's just not like the
considered
voice recorder EVP, but it is an electronic voice phenomenon.
And people started using radio actually during their EVP sessions, but they would just put it on an empty static station.
Yeah, I would consider DRV, like direct radio voice, would be EVP. But like a ghost box response, like the way that we consider, like with the sweeping, I don't know if I would consider that EVP.
I guess it depends on the response. Like, did you hear it in real time or not?
Well, I guess also it would be like, is it just a one word response or did you get like a whole sentence?
Well, but
I mean, you
EVP,
could
you
get
don't have
really
to get
into
a
the
whole sentence.
semantics of it, but I feel like an
That's why I
EVP,
say it's kind of generally, it gets
yeah,
you get it. You have to get into semantics in order to
yeah.
differentiate between the two.
I
You
think
know what I'm
manipulation of the frequencies, I feel like, is the one defining characteristic of EVPs, right? Like manipulation and imprinting your voice somehow.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying just using a ghost box is EVP.
Right.
I'm saying
No.
doing a ghost box session and recording that is the same as doing an
Yes.
EVP session with a bit of spice added to it,
Correct. Yes.
with
I
that
agree.
real time potential for hearing something come out of another. So it's like a layered.
Like a white noise, just adding white
Right.
noise to
That.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Right. It's kind of hard to even break that down, but anyways, yeah. So ITC, back to that. So on here you can see the EVP devices. They actually broke it down. They said we like to make a list of devices that have been used while making ITC contacts. This list will be split into the chapters: EVP, video, computer, fax, answering machines, and telephones. That's so cool that they used all this stuff back then, though. But we don't even have access to like actual fax machine technology anymore. That's lost
Yeah.
technology, bro. It's literally lost technology. We've already lost shit. It ain't even been 20 years.
Man, I'm sure we
So,
could find a fax machine somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure there's a fax machine. I know I've called a couple phone numbers here recently and got.
We've even seen some payphones around recently, man. So
Oh yeah, were they the T-Mobile ones?
the ones that were in like they didn't have a full box around it, but just like the half box and it had the blue just said phone on it.
Those are self-deletion boxes, booths. Did
Futurama? Is that what are you referencing Futurama?
Yeah, but no, they're talking about making that a real thing in Canada, dude. Did you
Well,
hear?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
did.
talking about,
I know that they said like assisted
self-deletion
suicide.
booth. Oh, no, not that word, but a self-deletion booth. Yes.
Oh, unaliving booth.
Yeah, unaliving booth. They were talking about it. I don't know. Is fans of you still in here? Probably not. But if you are, tell us if you've seen any of those up there. Because I heard them talking about it, man. But you always hear things like, "Oh man, did you hear what they're doing in Canada? Man, they're eating baby squirrels for delicacy." That sounds horrible, man. But it's probably not true. They say I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like propaganda. It's always like some hyper. A lot of times I feel like hyperbolic. I mean, yes, whatever.
That's hyperbolic.
Yeah. I was being a little bit. I was exaggerating a bit for effect. So yeah. So we got here. They use dictating machines.
Mm-hmm.
Which that could mean just a digital recorder back whenever they wrote this. And
No, that's a micro cassette recorder because that Panasonic RQL, what is that? The 349.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a micro cassette.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
but they're calling it a dictating machine, so they must be.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was actually called, like back,
Yeah.
in their early phases, the little handheld recorders.
They were like
a
ones. Yeah, little handhelds were the dictating machines, but that's
Right.
because that one was a
just take
smaller
notes, whatever. People would use them for notes to record meetings, blah 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 blah.
reporters. Reporters would use them for newspaper interviews.
It's a real time. Okay, so Tim's got our classification for Ghost Box EVPs. It's a real time OTA frequency manipulation EVP.
Wait a minute. Oh,
what's OTA stand for?
Over the air, on the air,
or on the air, over the air,
over the air. So like radio. Which I mean, yeah. So that would be a direct radio voice, wouldn't it?
Well, that is a way to describe Ghost
on
Box
the air
communications over the air.
Well, not yeah. I mean, yes, Ghost Box communication would come through OTA frequencies, But
Sure.
specifically frequency manipulation.
Yeah, dictaphone.
That
I
I
was gonna
mean
say that, Tim.
dictaphone, yeah. But like specifically frequency manipulation, I would be looking at like direct radio voice or DRV, which like what he referenced earlier, which was like when you'd set it to a dead station and you'd get voices that came through.
Yeah, that's
Of
what I was
course.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's direct radio voice. That's DRV. That's one of the
Yeah.
oldest methods. Like that's way back in the day. That was one of the first. That's the shit that even Tesla was hearing, and all the all those
Well,
audio
he
clips.
obviously wasn't like
Well, there was no broadcast to be picked up back then.
sure.
So, but like the fact that, I mean, he had it.
But that's what over the air is, though. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean like people talking over there. It means like ghosts
Just
talking over there.
broadcasted frequencies. That's all. it is.
Paranormally transmitted frequencies over radio waves. Not like, oh, sure, it could mean like people talking too, but in our situation, we're talking about ghosts. That's what we're looking for. So
Well, it's a OTA or
OTA.
on the
I
air
had
frequency.
either heard that and forgotten that term, or just did not get it in this context for some reason. Reel to reel recorder. I wish I had one of those.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a reel to reel recorder.
Yeah.
Software for PC. Cool Edit 2000, baby. And Gold Wave. You know what? I'm going to look and see if those are still a thing. This site is not secure. Fuck it. Dude, it's Adobe Audition. I swear to God, it's Adobe Audition. It's an Adobe Audition website now. It links to Adobe Audition. Look.
Adobe Audition. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. It's a Adobe program for recording audio.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So this link, Centrillium.com, that became eventually Adobe Audition. That's crazy.
That's the way it goes.
Anyways, and there's goldwave.com. Let's see what Goldwave. Is that still this site cannot be reached. Oh, bummer. All right, for video contacts, they use cameras. Panasonic. Panasonic was a popular one. I wonder if it's because Panasonic just made a lot of stuff during this period.
They were big in the camera game back then.
Well, it's cameras and recorders, audio and video.
Yeah, they had VCRs, they had TVs.
Well, I'm talking about just
Sony did too, though. So
right, yeah. But it seems I guess there's probably an equal amount on here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sony and Panasonic.
There's more Sony actually.
I think they are competitors still. I don't know. I have a strong.
Does Panasonic still make shit anymore? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
I buy a lot of TVs, man, for work, for arcade games, and I haven't even seen a Panasonic.
I think I feel like they've moved away from TVs and focused more on audio.
Oh, okay, yeah. Huh.
But granted, I've seen.
Now, this right here is the holy grail right here, bro. This is what I want to do. Computer contacts, Commodore C64, bro.
Bro,
I want to mess with that, dude. I want to mess with that.
I've said that before.
I do. I want to get in there and I want to do some
Okay.
crazy old like randomization type stuff on there.
Oh, dude. I feel like you could go crazy on a 64.
Dude, I would have so much fun on a Commodore. My sister had one, and I remember just playing with it like it was a spaceship component.
Yep.
And I never actually used it for anything, And to look back and think that, it's like, man, that was so. If I could go back into my 8-year-old body. But fax and telephone contacts. Normal telephones can be used only if there is a stable bridge to beyond with high interest on both sides. One can expect to receive telephone calls.
Bro, dude, I want to know about this fax. Like, I want to know who has gotten a fax.
And what does it look like? And is it a picture?
Is there any evidence? I want
to see. Is it like a ghost, like photocopies their ass?
Bro, there has to be
and faxes it to
some
you.
proof of this, that there has been I don't know how you would even prove this, because
Well,
then you would have to also go back and you would have to research what number that fax came from and who had that number. Was it like active? Was it registered? And if it was, I feel like there'd be some digging you'd have to do on that.
And there's nothing.
So, but like even then, you can't. I don't know. It's hard. But I feel like if you were able to get a fax from a ghost, like that'd be fucking nuts.
That'd be dope, wouldn't it?
That'd be crazy, dude. Holy,
Just
like
get
what?
that's like that would be so.
Like, let's
crazy.
do that now. Why can't we? Let's find a way to fucking. Well, Katie Alte has actually been doing something similar to that with her Corpus device. Like it actually has a printout on it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I can't remember. I know it has like words on it that relate to something that it picks up on, but it's a randomized thing. I don't know. I'd have to do more research into the Corpus because I know that I feel like she's changed that one device into a couple of different things and done a couple of different things with it. She's always got some crazy shit. Like, I don't know. She loves randomization and shit too.
There doesn't seem to be anything on here.
As evidence of a fax received by a paranormally received fax.
Well, not that I can see.
Timmy, can you do some research?
Techniques applied, maybe. Let's look in techniques. How to get fast contacts. This is what we need. Fast contacts.
Okay, yeah. What we got?
Okay. When it comes to scientific research of ITC EVP, I like to quote Professor Dr. Andreas Riesch, University of Innsbruck, Austria. The phenomenon should not and cannot be adapted to the research methods. Just the opposite. The research methods have to be adapted to the phenomenon. Okay.
That's
okay.
That's a really good,
that's a good point. That's a really good. It seems like that should be obvious.
But I never
But yeah, I never
thought about it like actually just sat and thought about that specific thing. But it's not like, yeah, that's a very fair point for real.
Right. So the technology has to be adapted to the phenomenon as well. I guess is kind of the way that's also.
Well, I've been preaching that for a minute though. But you and I both know we don't have the technology currently to be able to fully find what we want to find. But
we don't even know what we don't even know.
What we're gonna find, right? We don't know where to look
for. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so continuing on, if you explore the literature referring to EVP and ITC in general, then you will find hundreds and perhaps thousands of different ways to pursue the research. Every experimenter who devotes adequate time to the work has a way to find some degree of success. Success means that the experimenter gets in contact to beings in beyond when the experimenter wants it, and the messages received or the contacts made are of a certain quality, so that it's not too difficult to determine what was said, nor even to find out who has said it. It felt like a bunch of words to me.
I have I have a problem with what part of that.
I don't know which part. Okay, so you're talking about so every experimenter who devotes time and I agree with that. I agree. I kind of agree with that.
I agree with that first part right there, but I think it's the second part where he says, like, if you devote enough time, you're going to find what you're looking for.
Okay, success means that the experimenter gets in contact to beings in beyond when the experimenter wants it, and the messages received or the contacts made are of a certain quality, so that it's not too difficult to determine what was said, nor even to find out who said it.
Okay. I missed. I
mean, that would be what I would consider definitely a success.
Perfect.
I mean, I've had close to success. I feel
that's basically just timing and relevance is what that says. It's basically timing and relevance are very important.
Well, not necessarily just that, but also content.
Well, timing and relevance, meaning like what was said and was
timing.
It relevant?
Well, relevance would be whether or not what was said was relevant to the situation, but also
to what
like
you were talking
what
about or
what
whatever
it said, the content of what it said also
would be
doesn't mean
considered in the relevancy, though. I
could
feel
be,
like
could be. I think it'd be a
because, like,
separate.
I mean, it would have to say something relevant,
It could
like so
say
that
anything. No, it could say something also, but it wouldn't be. It might not be relevant to what you asked, but like, are we talking relevant to the question? Are we talking relevant
yeah,
to the
like
situation?
communication, direct
To the situation,
communication.
like, oh, we're
No,
sitting in a
no,
room in a
no,
place, and it just it. What if
no.
something says, "I can see you"? What if you say, "Tell me your name," and then something says, "I can see you"? I still consider that relevant, but also it's
That's a
not
vague
direct.
relevancy
Not
right there.
not really,
That's
because it does. We assume that these things that we talk to just have to answer our questions all the time, right? But think about it like this: like, if it's me talking to you, you could ask me a question, but if I'm in a certain way, then I might not want to answer your question. I might just say whatever I want in
yeah,
response.
but if we're looking for direct communication, direct contact, one of the biggest things that we look for is intelligent response, meaning like we ask a question and we get a response to that question. And when we get if we're looking for a specific, like if we're looking for a response, I would dignify or define a response as like I ask what is its name and it tells me its name. Like that, it's a call and response type of deal. And if it's like just saying something that, yeah, it might be relevant to the situation, but I mean, that doesn't mean that it's answering my question. It
Well,
doesn't necessarily mean it's
it's
direct
okay. We have
communication.
different definitions for what relevant is to in a session.
It depends on
Like,
what you're looking at, I guess. Or if you're talking about like, because like,
I don't
yeah,
necessarily have to have
relevancy could
direct
be situational
responses.
or like contextual, I guess, or
I think
communication.
we're getting
Whatever.
hung up on this one thing,
Well, that's what we do.
but I want to look a little bit
We're deep
more.
diving. No, you want to
Yeah,
go
no,
back
we're
and
deep
see
dive.
what
I want to deep dive into a little bit
all
further.
right. All right.
So you, whatever your idea of relevance, that's up to you. It's up to you. Okay.
All
So
right.
where were we? Okay. Concentrated suggestions on how to get fast EVP ITC contacts summarized from more detailed information on this website. Suggested way. Okay, here we go. Number one, suggested way number one. Before you conduct a sitting or a taping, we would call it session, I guess. You should not have had too much trouble of any kind hours before. Before you conduct, you should not have had too much trouble.
Oh, like stress
Like,
mood, like you don't fight with your wife before you or something, right? Like that's what I've been
yeah, to
saying.
maybe not lower your like defenses or whatever, or so that
Well, I think
you're
because
focused.
if you're in a bad mood, you're not gonna. It's kind of the
Right.
same thing. Like if you're in a
Yeah,
bad
so
mood, you're not gonna have good communication. You got
yeah,
to be in a good energy,
I
good
think you have to.
space, right?
I think it's more about focus. You know what I'm saying? You have
That
to be
too. That's a
focused.
big part of it too. But I feel like you're not gonna focus if you have a bad energy going on. You know
Well,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand.
Right, right.
Okay, so that's cool. Troubles defined as situations, there we go, that dominate your thinking in a way that is not wished. Of course, it can be that your own way of thinking is the reason for that. So trouble needs not always be caused by others. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, you can do it to yourself. You can like get yourself all
Mhm.
twisted up,
Most people, anxiety is exactly that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So you should never do that. So never, like, always be chill and calm before your sessions. All right.
Smoke weed every
Suggested
day.
way number two. If it was unavoidable for you to have troubles, then calm down by listening to music. I do that. That you like very much. Read a book or take a walk. I also do that. Explanation. During the sitting, it would be counterproductive to think in one moment of problems within your family. The next moment, you switch to problems in the company you are working in. Then you remember that it is necessary to buy certain things, the car needs service, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you get distracted. Those distractions. So I guess you have to be like in your chill mindset or however
You
hippie
get
way.
clear headspace and good vibrations.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the kind of case. Like, I mean, I have to be in I have to have positive energy if I'm building anything. I mean, I'm assuming you are have
Yeah,
to
I
be
got
the
to be
same
into
way.
it. If I'm not into it, I'm not going to be doing it.
Like, if you're not in the right headspace to build the device, it's not going to work as good.
Right, I'm not going to do it.
Especially with ghost boxes, because you and I both know, like, you could get the ghost box to sweep and do everything, but it may not communicate nearly as well. There's something
Sure.
weird about that. I believe in that energy transfer, man. I believe that's so important. Especially when we're talking about like communication devices that are custom built by us. You know, I feel like that energy transfer is like so necessary.
Yeah.
And if you have a bad energy transfer, then yeah, that ghost box is gonna suck. It's gonna sound like shit.
Have you ever used Ed's Ghost Box?
Yes, I have. I don't like to use it, man. I don't know.
How is it though? I forgot.
The FM is good. AM is, but
I think I liked the AM because you didn't hardly get anything on the AM, but then I got some stuff on the AM.
no,
And
the AM just like the audio is really like
low. It's low.
yeah, like it was super low.
Yeah.
It's almost like the AM wasn't amplified, whereas the FM was
Yeah,
super
a lot of
amplified.
newer radio boards are like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's not very amplified.
Yeah, but I got that. I got it in safekeeping, man. Like I have it set up on display back there, man. I'm just never gonna I keep that thing safe.
Yeah.
That's just a tribute to Ed, and I just don't ever want it to I don't want to move it because I don't know.
But it's so cool.
It's a
The
fucking
lights and stuff
awesome
on there,
box,
cool.
dude. Oh yeah, it's an amazing box.
And stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
I may or may not bring it up to the jail. I didn't even think about it before. But just because like Ed, the precinct was his project, that was his baby.
Yeah.
And so like if I can bring it back to another jail, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. It might not do anything. It might be, I don't know.
Well, it'd be strange to get Ed on it, or not strange.
I think that's one of the reasons also that I haven't really.
You're reluctant to use it.
Yeah, I'm reluctant
too. I have one like that too. I built it for a friend of ours.
Yeah,
and he died of cancer, and his wife wanted us to have his equipment that I'd built for him back, and he had taken this thing everywhere, and it's got signatures all over it from all the different ghost hunters and stuff that he met.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ended up back with it, and so yeah, it's sitting over there on the shelf, and yeah, it's I don't want to use it,
Yeah, I know that there are some people in the Detroit area that knew Ed that were not happy with the fact that I have the box.
Oh, really?
Apparently, for a while they thought I sold the box or something. I don't fucking know. I would not sell that motherfucker. I would not do it.
Yeah.
Like Ed meant something to me too. So like I know.
Yeah.
Whatever people want to say, but like
it was an honor to make it for him, and I'm glad he got to enjoy it. And
for a little while at least.
Yeah, he got to mess with it. So maybe
it wasn't long though, man.
Yeah, I know. I just like to think maybe he got some kind of consolation out of it. Maybe I don't know in my head.
No, whatever.
Not as bad.
No, for sure.
I don't know. Who knows?
Anyways,
carrying on. All right. So number 3, look forward to this new sitting with anticipation. So you got to get stoked about it, bro. You got to get stoked.
Excited. Look forward to it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Explanation: a sitting should not become a routine matter. Yeah, I get that. I get that because it kind of does. I mean, you got to have a formula. You got to have like a routine, but at the same time, it shouldn't feel routine. You shouldn't get
I
to
mean
where,
that. Yeah, it shouldn't
because it causes you
become
to get jaded.
right. Yeah,
And
you
you
don't want to like
question,
get burnt out or whatever. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
and
we're
I noticed
jaded, bored with it,
questions
right?
get very generic, very standard.
Although,
Like,
although part
oh,
of me would argue that like having a routine in some sense, like if you were to do it at a regular time, like do it like regularly every so often, every so many days per week, whatever, like that, I feel like could almost like when I think about that logically, you would think that it would increase your connection with them because it's almost like it's the same time becomes like
well, I think this
I don't know.
is, if finishing it up here, it says it shouldn't become a routine matter of, okay, it's Thursday and now I have to tape because the other people will be here,
Uh,
will soon be here for our appointment.
yeah,
Whatever. So yeah, it should become
basically
like
what
a
you were
thing you
saying.
gotta do, a thing you gotta
Yeah,
just do.
like a chore.
A chore, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely that would
Yeah, I get
not
that.
be fun.
But yeah, you gotta have a methodology. Yeah, Tim Lovejoy says mundane.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hey Timmy,
okay.
did you ever find any? I want Tim to look up
He
if he
did.
can find any evidence of a fax received by somebody.
Well, he says to bring this message that he sent to me, sciencedirect.com, science article ad. So I'm gonna try to look that up. I have to log into Facebook and it's a pain in my ass. I have to use my phone.
You're not logged into Facebook on your computer.
Dude, I don't get on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Uh,
Yeah, you
did
don't
you send it?
communicate with the outside world.
I do, I don't. This is the closest I get. I do have a job. I get out in reality and stuff though.
He goes from bar to bar working on
I do
games.
video games. That's literally what I do, man. That's
I
what I
know.
do.
So, like, what? I mean, even your outside world is limited to like
Like dark bars.
dark bars
I
and
become pale and pasty and
buckshot or whatever, right? What is it? Deer hunter or buckshot hunter or something?
buck hunter. You
Yeah.
talking about buck hunters? Hey, dude, buck hunter reload is dope, bro. It's
How
got
good are you at that, by the way?
you're what?
How good are you at that now, by the way? Just
I'm
curious.
pretty good. I've gotten pretty good at Golden Tee.
Golden Tee too, yeah.
Yeah, Golden Tee, Silver Strike.
You actually like
Eat a lot of turkeys. I eat a lot of turkey on Silver Strike.
do you like 'cause like with Golden Tee, I know most people, of course you spin the ball back and then real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah, you gotta slap that. Yeah. Now you don't have to hit it that hard though.
I know,
'Cause
but
like
everybody fucking
they
does.
do. They do to the point where they get drunk and they do it and they go over the damn pedestal and hit the TV and I have to fix it.
Oh, you've had cracked TVs?
Oh, dude, so many. Like get them every week.
Damn.
Let's see.
How do
Okay,
you
did you send it to
I wonder if they like get a running start or something. Like, how did he? Like, I can't imagine. What are the? Is it actual glass or is it plexiglass or what?
what? On the monitor?
Yeah, like is
No,
there?
it's just a monitor, bro. It's just a
Oh, so
TV
like it's. Oh
so they
shit.
buy at the store like a Vizio or a whatever. A
So
lot of times
oh shit.
I either use I buy Samsung or LG the most. Well,
So,
Samsung mostly nowadays, but I put
so
like
like
55-inch Samsung on a Golden Tee.
okay, so it's not
Now we got
necessarily like
PGA Tours though. Now we're moving in PGA Tours. So the PGA Tours come with like the 55, but it's got the big display around it.
gotcha. So it's not, but it's not like a glass screen anymore.
No, it's still just a monitor. It's
Okay.
still just a monitor. No,
So,
yeah,
yeah, that could be pretty. That could be broken pretty easily.
oh yeah, dude. It's super easy. All right, Tim. I'm looking on. I have unread chats. Okay, yeah, it's on that one. All right. I gotta
I
send my.
still think Timmy should be our Jamie. I'm still pretty sold on that idea. Whenever.
Hey, Tim. What if I sent you a link? Okay, to bring you in to the show, but you don't have to show your face, but you'll
You'd be
be
our
able
Jamie.
you'll be able to present stuff.
You ever
Let's
watch
share
Joe
your
Rogan
screen.
podcast, Tim? If you
And you
watch the
can
Joe
share
Rogan
all this stuff
podcast,
directly. Look. Okay, Tim, I'm gonna send you as soon as I. Okay, let me get logged into Facebook here, and we're gonna try it real quick. And you don't even have to show your face or talk or nothing. I promise. And then you
or
can
you,
share all this stuff.
yeah,
And
because
you
like,
can share it however you want. Have whatever rate you want. You can just be throwing whatever you want up on the screen. We'll give you that freedom. Let's see here.
it's not any porn, man. No gay
Yeah,
porn.
no porn, Tim.
Nah, man, because I've been watching like the PBD podcast and Joe Rogan. So like you got Jamie and for Joe Rogan and Rob for PBD. Like those guys, they just look up the background information. Like when we're talking about something, they're looking it up, and so they have like shit ready to go. If we can you bring it up, Jamie.
Right.
My favorite
Tim,
one,
that's
one of
gonna
my
be your
favorite
job.
clips. One of my favorite clips is when Theo Vaughn goes on the Joe Rogan podcast and talks about how bees are exploding after they ejaculate in the hot
Oh
sun.
yeah.
He's like, "Bring it up, Jamie."
Yeah.
And Jamie brings it up. He's like, "No shit. I thought you were just making shit up."
Okay, Tim. I just sent you a link to the StreamYard, and you click that link, and then you'll be down here, and you'll be right below what I'm looking at here. And you
Well, at
don't.
this
I
point,
won't even put you on screen. You can mute your mic, mute your camera.
well, KD, at this point, we're at like 3 minutes left.
We're gonna test it.
Oh, all right, let's test it.
We're gonna do a test run so we can get Tim on board here so he can share all his knowledges and he can be pulling up stuff for us. So I sent you that link. Now just click on that link and come on in right here and then share the stuff you want to share real quick, and we're just gonna test. We're gonna do a test run.
I hope Timmy does like a. That's funny.
He's posting link, and I want to see him, but it's a lot. It's a pain in my neck to get in here and in
Man,
Facebook because I never get it. I never log in, so I always have to get on my phone and
Boomer.
No, I used to do it. And then like it's too much. I can't.
I don't
You know
get
what I
on
mean?
Facebook on
It's too
anything
much.
except my phone. So
Yeah, I just watch YouTube videos. That's all I do is watch YouTube videos.
yeah, dude, you've got me fucking doing that shit now. I don't know what it is. I caught your virus.
Well, there's a lot of good shit on YouTube, man.
I know, but I spend most of my YouTube time watching like I've been through so many of the Y files now at this point.
Yeah, the
I
Wi-Fi.
feel like I've
kind
hit
of
all of
stopped
them.
watching them. I stopped watching him so much because he's kind of.
It's Hecklefish that gets me.
Yeah, he's a little cheesy nowadays. The Hecklefish thing was funny at first, and then it's like it's a
It's
little
annoying.
and then he's doing live streams in like bunny pajamas and stuff, and I'm like, that was a little weird, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching that. I
Little
watch.
bit on the weird side. A little bit on the weird side.
I watch that. I watch.
Jimmy, are you coming in, bud?
Yeah, I don't know, Timmy. I've been watching a little bit of Tim Pool too.
Yeah,
You've got me into him, man.
Tim Pool's been kind of making me mad lately.
Oh, really?
I'll admit it. Yeah, he's kind of been, and I know I ain't gonna agree with everything he says, but he's been kind of like rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. You know.
Yeah. Well, we can't always agree with everybody.
Well, he's just very. It's not even that I disagree with stuff. It's like he's very. He's become very like you should be like me. You need to live like this. You should do this. You should do that. And these are all things.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit. I can see that a little bit. Although I don't like take it that way. You know what I mean? Like I take information from everybody, man. I can't like listen to one person. You know?
Click that link. Click that link I sent you, and come in and just share that, and just you can present it.
Come on.
You can just present it.
Ooh, live it up.
For me. Because I'm in on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I guess I could maybe do it from my phone. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah, you could probably do it from
him. You could just come in here and help.
Watch, he fucking left.
He's giving me work to do here.
I bet he left. Watch, he jumped out. He's not even on anymore. And we're just like waiting for
He is. He sent me something right here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say he's just like sitting here, like we're just like waiting for nobody.
But I'm gonna have to. Oh man, can I even do it on my phone? Hold on. Let me look. Sorry, the show's kind of over. We're just doing. We're experimenting with shit.
Yeah, I'm just soldering here. I didn't even know that we were still on. Well, I mean, I kind of knew that we were still going, but like,
okay. Oh,
whoa!
yeah, I turned.
Hey, introducing.
That's crazy. Jeez.
Turn it down. Sunday.
How do I? Jeez.
Good God, dude.
I'm turning it off. I can't. I can't mute it. Was it that loud on there? Because I couldn't hear it.
Oh my God, dude. It's just feedback.
Was it?
Like straight fucking loud, squeaky feedback. Like, oh my God.
I think, hold on.
Well, I'm probably going to jump off here if we're done.